What's good, y'all? You dial back here again here in 2019. Let's get it. Bringing y'all more new, fresh content. Now, y'all know I haven't done a chapter review or anything of the like in a long while. I do discussions and stuff. This ain't a review. I wasn't even planning on talking about the chapter, but my God, I have other videos to do, but it doesn't matter. Chapter 9, and I'm going to upload other videos. Been meaning to for days. Just ain't got around to it. Work and other things has got me tired as hell. Tired as fuck. But that chapter 957, he titled it Ultimate, and Oda was not playing. It brought the heat, brought the fire. You got people like Sean Holmes, Margaret Basil, a lot of cats who are not happy with Wano. They got hyped. This is that shit that's that One Piece beyond greatness that we all know and love. Now, like I said, this ain't no review. Y'all read the title. I'm pretty sure y'all saw the different reviews. We'll talk about this chapter on a deeper level. Okay? Deeper level. First of all, Oda, thank you. Finally, it's time. We finally. And yes, I always love using that UFC commentator's phrase. I love it. We finally get the bounties of the Yonko and Whitebeard Roger. I've been waiting for this for the longest time. I've been saying I was one of the few people, if the only person that I know of, that was talking about the era before the Rogers era. And now Oda is constantly churning out. He's like, all right, Wonder, I got you. All right, you dub, I got you. I got you folks who actually love lore. Thank you. Thank you, Oda. Now, can we get some flashbacks? Or I suggested in a group chat with a bunch of the homies, right? Dog, I would somebody, because Oda can't go, but somebody else. Oda gives them some like sketch work and give me a prequel series like what Sons of Anarchy should get with the first 9. Shout out to SOA greatness. Many of us are still fans, and I still need to catch up to the. I need to get on that Mayans. But anyways, the thing is, we need give me part 1 and give me the rocks. All right, give me part 2 and give me Gold. And give me Rogers' journey, Goldie Rogers' journey. We need this. Too many interesting characters, too much possibility, too much lore, too much knowledge to be gleaned from the series. That there's no way in hell Oda can fit into the series as is, especially if you're following Straw Hats. So just give us a prequel series. That's Moolah, baby. Shonen Jump. Get on that. Maybe there's plans. Maybe there are plans. Keep this One Piece going. I mean, hell, Dragon Ball has Dragon Ball Super, and fans loving that. We love expansions. Star Wars has been around for 4 decades. Nearly 5. Star Trek has been around for like 5+ decades. See what I'm saying? Doctor Who, the same thing. It can keep going. Some just like, yo, we tired of whooping. But no, you give us a fresh story. Make it a generational thing. Just saying. Just saying. And here's the thing. One Piece, I gotta say this before I go and deep dive into this. One Piece, this is the beginning of the Endgame. Now you can already say that the stage was set, with the Throne War speech by Joker himself in chapter 803. But this 957 is truly the beginning of the end game. Oda's just like, yep, here's all. I know this is a Yonko saga, and I was wondering why they said that. But now Oda's not even playing. He's not even hiding anymore. You can say, well, what about last chapter? Yeah, last chapter was hype for everybody, no doubt. But this chapter indicates everything. He's like, listen, there's no qualms. You're eventually going to get the Shichibukai bounties and everything. He's like, listen. He set the stage, and now it's for real. Act 3 of Wano, the beginning, right going into Act 3 of Wano, is the beginning of the start of the end. We are going to finish One Piece within a decade. I don't buy it. I still think it's BS for 5 years, because Oda likes to add an expansion. I said this earlier. I said, as soon as he added in the Shichibukai, the worst generation, the revolutionaries, all those additions add in double, if not quadruple, the length of the series. Because remember, he said he initially planned for 5 years. But then he's like, Luffy going to the Yonko. Nah, let me add in the Shikibu. And that expands the story. Every time you add in, that's what I said why Dressrosa was so long. Because every time you add in more elements, more people, that bloats up the story. Not necessarily that's a bad thing, but it's called expansion. That's just what you do. If you want a little story, have like 3 characters. If you want a big ass story, have a bunch of characters, especially with complexity and intricate natures to them, right? So we got that. All right. Oda's not playing anymore. He's really about this. He's trying to end this story. We knew this, but no, he's for real now. This to me is the first indication. This whole Roxy, I think Roxy's still alive, ladies and gentlemen. I don't buy this, and let me address this. This is fake news. Hashtag fake news. This whole thing is fake news. This is an alabaster level cover up. Smoker, and I've said this for years. Smoker, probably about damn near a decade now. Smoker is the parallel of Garp. Fuck that. Forget that Kobe mess, bro. Get that mess out of here. No shade against Kobe, but let's keep it real. Smoker's been with Luffy just like Garp was with Roger. They've helped each other out, which I expected. This whole rock thing, I expected Roger to somehow be involved. It made too much sense. Too much sense. So, this whole thing is, and that's why Garp doesn't want to talk about it, because he knows the truth. I had said it earlier. Garp is like the Zoro in this situation. He took down the vice captain. People are like, well, Wonder, you're throwing shade to be disrespectful. How am I being disrespectful by saying you took down the vice captain of the Rocks Pirates? That's not disrespect. That's a powerful ass dude. It's just that Roger took down Rocks. Because this reminds me of Sir Crocodile Alabasta situation. People are, I think it was Abu Ugas was like, yo, where's the beef? I don't really see any connection. There was no beef. This is just Sir Crocodile, right at the place. I think that Roger was defending the slaves, not the Celestial Dragons, but was defending the slaves, and just so happened to be a strong pirate. Just so happened to be a strong pirate. And maybe this is where the beginning of Roger's legend starts, right? So you have all of that. Now I'll get back to rocks and such. Because remember, I did a video previously about maybe a month or so ago. But you can go and check out when I did an entire video on the Rocks Pirates. I figured most of these. I thought even Shiki. I thought Golden Line was in there. Newgate, Lin, Kaido was right on the money with all that. But we got Captain John! Now, I have said in the past, I don't know if I recorded it, but I've said in the past that Buggy's treasure, I think that's going to amp him to at least admiral level. I think Captain John's treasure is true. For Captain John, bro, somebody named Silver Axe. Like, we got some killers. Rock's got some killers. Now, the thing is, as I stated in that video, I don't think this is a traditional crew, as was indicated by Sengoku when he was breaking down. These were both friends, and then they would beef and stuff. Here's the thing, bro. When you look at it from a very honest perspective, this is a hybrid between a pirate crew and a pirate alliance, which I threw out a few different possibilities on the structure of how the Rocks Pirates worked, right? Rocks to be able to personality for all these dudes and for all these cats to come from this one crew. But it makes sense that they weren't as powerful. But then also we bring in the fact of how powerful were these cats? Because Oda is playing this very loosey goosey. Because you would think with as powerful as the Roger Pirates were, they would be able to run through the pirate world, but they didn't. The Rocks Pirates, with as powerful and potent as the potential of a lot of these cats, they didn't run through the pirate world either. So what's going on with not the power scaling, but overall, Oda's playing this very fast, loosey goosey. And apparently, like as time gets on, people get way more powerful. Which makes sense, but seriously, people apparently get way more powerful the older they get. Okay? Instead of there's no decline in diminish like this believe Oda Prime. No. That's not what Oda's been indicating thus far in the series. So you might lose a little bit of physicality, but that hockey makes up for Devil Fruit experience, Devil Fruit mastery, all that good jazz. See what I'm saying? So there's that. Sengoku's like, look, I'm being hands off. I'm just imparting knowledge and wisdom. I think also Sengoku and Garp really won't know parts of this because they know what it truly indicates. And also, which indicates more so, I think it was Roger. Also, for those who don't think it was Roger that took down Rocks, this is not a slight or shade. People think there's some think I have this issue with Garp. No, I have him number 7 during Roger's era. That's not trash, bro. That's not trash at all. It's top tier, without question. Top tier if you want to go that far, right? But there's other factors you have to take into consideration. Don't just fall for the overhype. Don't fall for the okadoke. For example, my dudes will get at me with Kong. My dude Kong, he would be one of my faves, but we don't see Kong. And I'll get to the Kong jokes in a bit. But the thing is, Roger, Guard knows that Roger. That's why Guard he stays tight lipped, right? We also know that the Celestial Dragon, like they're wiping this from history. This thing about rocks, I think this is fake news about him being evil and being a terror. No, this doesn't even sound right. This doesn't. No, 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 no. I'm not buying this one iota. I think Luffy is the hybrid between rocks and we see Rocks D. He's a D, bro. I was super hyped when I saw that. Rocks D Zebek, and apparently, Blackbeard shipped his name after that. So what does Teach know? I think Luffy's the hybrid between Rocks and Goldie Roger, and where in the ways of the Pirate King, Luffy is going to fulfill the way of the Pirate King and the will of D. I think Luffy is the one. Where Rocks fell, where Roger fell, where they weren't able to unite the pirate world. Apparently, that's where Otis had, and I did drop a video on that like a week ago or so about Luffy potentially uniting the pirate world. So it seems Oda is putting all of this that I've been indicating for y'all um, right out in the open, right? And some are bringing up an interesting thing about potential of a debut back fight. Now, I have wanted the Straw Hats to get a serious debut back fight in the New World, gain a crew member that way. Beehive. I'm gonna get the Beehive because this was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to drop this video. But apparently on Beehive, that's where the Davy folks are saying that's where the Davy back fight started. That's what was indicated before. Now Sanji's for some reason knew that Davy back fights were frequent, were common. So there's that. So we may have actually get the rocks formed by a Davy back kind of situation. But how I think in a large ways of how they formed is you had a bunch of these, potential powerhouses coming together under one flag, outline themselves, band of brotherhood, very power code. This whole chapter was Oda showing a gushing love for pirate lore. Now, like we hadn't seen it throughout history. I mean, there's so much in-depth stuff. Like Sawyer Seven Mage did a vid about, in his review, actually. It was you know, Teach's current bounty is actually a reflection of the monetary value in modern terms of Blackbeard, Edward Thatch slash Teach, the real life Blackbeard. Okay, so I thought that was awesome. Oda loves doing that kind of stuff. And the thing about it, and pirates coming together, banding together under a common flag, that's a very pirate-esque thing to do if you know the golden age of piracy. But the way that they're doing it, imagine a Blackbeard, Captain Kidd, and the like during his era all came together. That's incredible, ain't it? That's kind of what you were having to Rocks Pirates, in agreement of sorts on the pirate island. Now that I say the pirate island, which was referenced a lot by Sengoku, go back and search up Port Royal. Port Royal. Go look it up. You know, Jamaica, Jamrock, respect. Respect. But yes, in Jamaica, Port Royal, go look up the golden age of piracy, and that's what you're having here with Beehive. Now, it's interesting how Teach has used that as his base of operations, his home place. It makes perfect sense for him because you have a lot of these stereotypical aspects of a classic pirate when people think of a pirate. And Teach himself is like a mixture between Newgate and Shiki, in the Golden Line, right? So that's interesting. Now, remember that Whitebeard has said that Blackbeard he's not the one that Roger's waiting for. And I think there's a lot of reasons going for this. Teach is a different breed in that regard. But yeah, we look at it, Rocks, was he the most powerful? Now I bring up to Kong because a lot of people don't even we see this dude has emus level of put like screen time. This dude gets no screen time. People talk about Garp and the hype, and I'm like, man, Kong, the joke. Island destroyer, human buster call, walking weapon of mass destruction. I just started joking. The thing about Kong, man, he potentially like the ultimate master Rokushiki, freaking conquerors hockey. like the peak, the epitome of armaments and observation hockey. I think Kong's gonna be too much. He may have the mythic. I mean, there's been things about whether he had the Earth Logie and different stuff, but it just might be simple. Mythical Zone King Kong. That would be beastly as hell. I ain't gonna lie. Mythical Zone King Kong the Bear. Do you understand? But Kong, the reason why Kong might not show up. Now understand, he was the fleet admiral during Rogers' era. He's currently the commander in chief. That means he was probably an admiral during Rogers' era. Kong has so many medals and stuff. And we don't hear anything. Well, people barely know about the Rock's situation that happened nearly 40 years ago. 38 years ago, I believe, to be specific. And the thing about it is they barely know. The new generation. Well, baseline, Kong seems in his 90s. It's a good chance he's well over 100. I think Soul King Brook, he needs to start talking. Soul King knows too much. He knew about German. He knew about Roger in his young days. Soul King can inform us. He needs to start opening his trap, bruh. Instead of just singing, maybe do a few songs about that era. Put some respect on some Kong name. Because does Sakazuki and Borsellino know about Kong like that? We don't know. This dude, Garp, Sengoku, and them probably know. But here's the thing I talked about. Started as a joke, but in my joke, my humor is usually half serious, half joking. So the thing about Kong is that Kong, previous era, whatever, the era before Rocks, right? And I said, maybe he's the reason the Rock's powers even formed, because you had such a formidable Marine that cleared out everybody. He cleared out all the big names. I said, maybe Kong's the reason that Impel Down has a level 6. Because here's the thing, man. We don't hear anything. We don't hear a peep from Kong, right? Kong is the only Marine stationed at Mary Jo. Now that already tells me all I need to know about his level. Besides his title, besides his pedigree, all I need to know is that he and the girl say the only one stationed at Mary Jo to protect it. What if Kaido or Lin Lin decide to stroll on up? Who do you think fight him? Kong. Dragon decided Kong. If Kong doesn't flip, I think Dragon fights Kong. Final war. If Dragon doesn't die before then. So you have this dude being that. He might have cleared the board. And the Rock's powers are like, yo, we gotta come together because they got this absolute monster out here, fam. So, because he's so powerful, he brings everybody together. Even though Luffy's not as powerful, he's not on par with the Yonko. 2 Yonko came together because of Luffy. And here's the thing. Remember, the level 6ers, their histories are wiped from existence. They're wiped from history as what happened at the God Valley, the God Valley incident was wiped from history. If Kong put away a bunch of level 6ers, that junk's going to be wiped from history, so we're not going to hear about Kong. I'm telling y'all, Kong is the absolute truth, bro. You best believe that. I still have him ranked 3rd power-wise after Shanks and Dragon, respectively. I think he was 3rd during Rogers' era. I don't think he's diminished in power. I think he's that dude for real. Look at his physique. The arms are bigger than Sakazuki and Garp. This dude got a mohawk in old age. This dude told Sengoku and Garp, y'all not retiring. What the hell? That ain't just, swinging a big stick because of his position. You think Sengoku, a Converse hockey user, and Garp the rebel, well, kind of rebel, you think they would just listen to a weak man? Hell no! Hell no! This dude calling about that life. Understand it. Understand it. Was Rock's his strongest power ever? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Now we see that Roger has the highest bounty ever though. Who knows? Did Rocks get taken out before his complete prime? Who knows? Who knows? We don't know, man. There's a lot to be, to be there. Now, I don't think Rocks is dead. I may have said that early in this video. I don't think Rocks is dead. I think Rocks, I don't buy this. This is, to me, complete fake news. Like, there is some truth in this, but this is all fake news, bro. Rock's still alive. I think he's the lurking legend. I've said it before. I think he's the lurking legend that Luffy's got to take down. He may be the most powerful pirate ever because he's still living. See, Newgate's gone. Roger's gone. The Dark King's retired. And they're talking about the rocks coming together. Now, Kaido falls or not, but maybe those rocks show up. Is Wano an okie-doke? Because some are saying that Kaido doesn't fall in Wano on Onigashima. I don't know, man. But does rocks come back? Does rocks come back? Yo, Kaido, Lin, your brats. Is this how we get Shiki finally back in this story? The rocks pirates back together. Maybe some of the old cats were like the Rogers pirates that just were chilling in the cut, right? Maybe they were chilling in the cut. Maybe Zoo, I can't say that. I'd have to look at the name. But maybe one dude's in like the West. Maybe they all converge. Could that be what Oda's headed? We don't know. Another thing is, could Luffy fight Teach not at Rattail / Lattail? A lot of folks are expecting that. Maybe they fight before that. We don't know. There are so many things. Odin hype. A lot of folks are speculating, and I think it's reasonable that Odin was actually the first division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates. All right. Roger was actually able to poach a first division commander if that's the case. And the thing is, remember, red hair Shanks tried to poach Marco. And Lin tried to poach, Big Mim tried to poach King. So that may be it. Plus, Marco is too young. And there's someone else that it would seem would be ahead of Marco if Marco is as young as he is now, right? And probably pretty much the last point I want to make. Talk about, said this for a long time. I think there's somebody beyond Sabo. He's too young. Chief of Staff, it makes it. Dragon's been doing this for too long. I think that dude. People are like, well, why haven't we seen him? Because Oda does when things are relevant. We're just now getting the rocks. We're just now getting the Yonko. Oda constantly does this. This is his style of storytelling. He does a slow burn style. Now this is a lot of series do this, but Oda especially does this, right? Oh my goodness, there's so much more. Those bounties though. This dragon, I mean, amped it. Does he have 10 bill? I knew he would at least have 5 billion. I knew that for the longest time, especially after we saw Jack and Katakuri's. But the thing is, man, does this, because Sean Holmes was like, yo, double Rogers? I'm like trying to send a message. I mean, Roger didn't directly attack the Celestial Dragons, the Tenryubito, but Dragon's going for that. Not saying he does, but I would not shock if he had something like 10 billion. 10 billion! But Luffy, surpassing 5 bill. And I never had a problem with Luffy having 1.5 billion, and now you see why. I expected the Yonko to have something like these. It was incredible to see, but I expected as much. I knew we wouldn't head back to Wano just yet. I knew there was something more. Um, Man, the lore for this chapter in the pirate lore. Finish it up. Looking at it like Oda has progressively been making this a darker, and I told y'all this would happen, a darker, more mature, more serious story. It's almost like it's interesting that he called the first half of the Grand Line Paradise, the New World. It's hell. I've said it for years. Strong survive, the weak die, or get the hell out. Like, bro, now we are seeing what it really, and we see the history. Like, it's becoming very, very pirate-esque. More so than it ever was in the past, pre-time skip, right? I'm really, and there's probably a hell of a lot more elements of pirate lore that I can get into, but I'm really starting to feel the pirate vibes of One Piece. I'm really liking this. Pirate alliances, uh, you know, more so strategy, more so factions moving and stuff. That's real pirate shit. It's not just, ooh, we're just gonna throw hands and duke it out. Like, a lot of people want to see the fights. I want to see the lore. I want to see the world building. I want to see the manipulation. I love the facts like sword. I want to see that stuff. The revolutionaries moving and stuff. Even though they're not pirates, I like seeing that this whole Throne Wars aspect is real piracy to me. You know what I'm saying? Not just theft on the high seas, but exactly how it kind of was at different points in history. Both with, because Oda's fusing the Western Caribbean piracy. I know piracy still technically goes on this day, but we talking like the golden age of stuff, and we talking like from especially from 1600s, the 17th century all the way to the 19th century. All right, there was the golden age of piracy that existed more so the late 17th century, early 18th century, late 1600s, early 1700s. But there was some points that I think there was the Barbary War, the Barber War. It's been Berber. It's been a while. It's been a minute, but early 19th century, early 1800s. But also there were Oriental pirates. Japan, China had their own pirates. So Otis fusing a lot together. I mean, he's always done it, but it's extraordinary to see. And I'm not gonna have this video go on too much longer. But unexpected one to like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know I had a lot to say about this chapter. This chapter is Oda at its finest. More of this, please. This is what we're talking about. This is what we coming for. This also sets the stage. This sets the chessboard, the checkerboard for what all the pieces. Oda's a master. I mean, it takes forever, but he a bunch of pieces, and now everything's starting to converge. One last thing I will say about Wano, though. This isn't it. Will we see a kind of undead human living zombie situation with the smile users, where we saw with Jack where they just don't they keep getting back up because of Zoan regenerative capacity. Y'all best put respect on Buddha's name, by the way. And Ryokugiyu, excuse me, Green Bull could in the mythical zone, so he may be good while Isho's banged up. Um, you know, in Match Out of Live Myth of Magic, we saw uh, Ren Hakuryu versus Ren Cohen. Ren Hakuryu's army was kind of like that, where they kept going. But Gecko Moore is incoming on Wano. He wanted shadows in Marineford. There are so many elements, and there's so many implications to what the story brings, and I can't wait to see where Oda heads with this. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.